I have a solution for the PWHL, how to get more eyeballs on it. Because we have to acknowledge first, men and women are very different. They're not the same. So if you're going to treat women's pro sports like men's pro sports, this is why they failed so much, because they're trying to treat it like the same. Men and women are not the same. They're different, equal value, but not the same. If you did like shirts versus skins, I think you'd have an incredibly more diverse audience.
Only for inter-squad games.
No shoulder pads. Jerseys versus sports bras. You can throw elbow pads on if you want. I think viewership, myself, I would watch. I would tune into that for sure.
Well, listen, I think you're playing on the whole, why is women's beach volleyball one of the most popular viewed sports in the Olympics? Mm-hmm. I get where you're going. I understand where you're going. Didn't they do the lingerie bowl once upon a time?
In football, yeah.
Yeah, in football during the Super Bowl. That was a sponsored event that they did.
They were chugging beers, too, after touchdowns.
Yeah, they sure were. And
classy gals.
Look, I get it. But I do believe there absolutely is a market for the PWHL in non-crowded markets. Mm-hmm. Because in crowded markets, and we'll use Winnipeg for an example, where you have the National Hockey League, you have the American Hockey League. National Hockey League is averaging just over 14,000 per game. American Hockey League is averaging just around 4,000 a game. I think if you bring in the PWHL to a market like Winnipeg, which would probably be very high on the list, you're going to hurt your American League team.
Agreed.
That's what you're going to do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think the sooner we can acknowledge, like, what's a man's primary value? How useful he is, right?
Okay.
I think that's pretty fair to say. And back in the days, everybody loves gladiators. Sports is the modern day gladiators. We've talked about this before.
Of course.
So if you can be useful in modern day gladiators, that's where man's value comes from. A woman is very different. She's valued for her beauty. So if we can maybe use that to get some more viewership, shirts versus skins, we can have a whole lot more people watching.
Well, and here's what it comes down to. And I think Bill Burr, as eloquent as Bill Burr is, I think he said it fairly well. When it comes to women's sports, that's for women to support. Mm-hmm. Don't ask men to go support that. If that's something that you want to go see, then you go support it. It shouldn't be on just because it's a sport and men gravitate traditionally towards sports as far as their entertainment rather than reality television, then in the hierarchy of where it's going to be skill level, it's not going to fall anywhere, I would say, above the Fed. You know, like even possibly lower as far as skill level,
you're
right?
Being very nice
I'm being very generous right now. I understand that. But this is a situation, and I even saw, like I said, my buddy took his daughter there because she was really excited to go see girls play really good hockey. So this is on women to go support. And if it fails, the finger can't be pointed saying, well, the guys are supposed to like sports and they didn't go watch it. That's not the way it works. If you have a good product and you decide to spin it a little bit differently, like I don't think it would even be a terrible idea. Change the rules a little bit. You know what I mean? Like maybe change your the length of your periods. I'm talking about like 15 minutes instead of 20. Maybe you do 2 halves. Maybe you do it a little bit differently, kind of the way the CFL is a little bit different than the NFL. The rules are a little bit different to facilitate different styles of play because the women do have a different style of play. And I think trying to compare it when the CFL tried to go head-to-head with the NFL, and back in the 90s, they had a campaign of, our balls are bigger. You know, they actually went with that slogan campaign for once upon a time. When you go up against that...
you imagine the PWHL, our balls are bigger.
I don't know if that one's going to go over so well. But you get what I'm saying. Like, they have to find their niche. They got to find their corner where they go, this is the way we market it. This is the audience we're looking for. But if you're trying to market it towards your average regular dude that follows the NHL, you're not going to fill the seats. You got to find the right angle. Same way the American League here in Winnipeg, when it comes to the Manitoba Moose, family packs. Bring the family. You know what I mean? Like it's really expensive to bring the whole family to an NHL game. But hey, we've got this wonderful package for family, corporate events, big support for group events. That's the kind of angle. I'm not saying that's the one, but that's the kind of angle you got to find.
Leave a comment down below in the comment section, or if you're feeling really hot and bothered, call the voicemail line. There's a link in the video description to give us a jingle. Let us know what you think.
Hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?